Hi, Lori. Oh, you know what? She wanted that up on a table. Think we can do it like maybe on the couch back there?
Put it on the couch.
Make this one block.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not on this.
I don't think so. I think you said you wanted, so I've got myself, Tommy, Jim Huber, and Kelly. We got four. One of us is found for timer. Okay. We'll figure it out.
all part of your Sergeant at Arms.
Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna have time for it. It's kind of,
It's a crapshoot with
only what I've got is, a little bit of a trivia geography, like name the country and then put it on the map. Trivia geography.
like name the country that's full of penguins that now has a 10% tariff on it.
In Antarctica or.
There is one, a little island. Nothing on it but penguins, and it's on the list for 10%.
Yeah. There was a couple of them I read about today too that were this news feed I get that I like and it was some batshit crazy stuff. And it's like,
Yeah.
well, okay, we'll just go with it, you know?
Hey, I was talking to my daughter this morning, and she's in the process of putting the material of the movie and the material that she's going to karaoke into a TED Talk. So I said, you know, what, 20 minutes long? 15 minutes? She said, yeah. I said, would you be interested in test running it for Rotary? And maybe give you you to come down.
So a program that is for TED Talk.
Will be, yeah.
I like the idea.
Yeah, you know, she's got some really interesting stuff out there.
Okay.
She loves doing it herself. So,
Okay.
if you've got a slot, you know, sometime in June or July or.
Send me an email and we'll look. I'll look at it now. Okay. I think we do. Okay. Heather, I got that. She was like, give me her email on the second. I think I do. I think I'll have to.
No, no, no.
Yeah. So this is her email. It's NROCHH. Yeah, awesome. She's gonna be so happy to be able to see that.
Yeah, that'd be cool for her. Right. Got it? Yeah, no cheating. Yeah, I think so. If we're gonna wanna see how it does, she said she's not gonna be here today. Oh, okay, so she's gonna try it. This is from fire marshal for the county. He's given a presentation about 3 weeks and sent it to me to see. Okay. As long as they're in the woods, for some reason, yeah, audio is. So it has, if you look at it, I couldn't do it. Okay. It had links to websites. Okay. But I think we wanted the file, but when I went to the file, it's just got it. It's like an Apple file. This is mine.
Oh, we're having one for today?
This is my Sergeant of Arms. I think it's uploaded already.
Okay.
So if you go to the share, let's look at, make sure that's still
Oh,
goes.
see, I was just thinking, speech contest, that means no.
No tech.
no, Yeah.
Should be no tech,
no
but this one I want to
PowerPoint.
see if it works or not.
Yeah, see
We've
whether
got like
it says on here.
3 weeks. Go to share just for the moment, right?
Let me share, we,
Go to, get out of this. Check to see if my Sergeant of Arms. Go to share. Let's see if my Sergeant of Arms. Yeah, that's the Sergeant of Arms.
Okay.
If we get to it, we might not have time. I just want to make sure I removed that. I want
the
to make sure.
autism quiz.
Yes, that's the idea.
Well, let's go with this.
So, yes,
So that's a Chrome document, that's an image, search that here, maybe it's in here.
well, that's what I clicked on it. And
My sister thought it was really sticky. And so I had.
when I go on, I get, when I tried to open them, I got gobbled.
Yeah. I was just hoping maybe it was one, it's a real, like a PowerPoint, and the rest is just like used in some.
Yeah, like Firewise banner, click on that, see if that pops up.
That's a pretty great there, that's in there.
Oh, there, okay, good. So I don't know if we're supposed to just click through all this and this is.
I don't think so. A lot of these are like, oh, it's text documents, something like.
Yeah, gobbled.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I, okay, so I'm gonna have to call them and find out.
Because you don't speak the language, doesn't mean it's golden.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
That's no centrist.
Very, very narrow-minded of me.
Yes. It probably means something to somebody.
I bet there is somebody out there who can read that. And I bet they're a very interesting person.
For any. Anything that is, none of these look like, oh, here we go, it's sort of like type, it's what we have. That's in there, those are usually viruses. JPEGs are just picture, that's.
Yeah, and text documents. You can
It's
take it.
yeah, those are the, that's that, what that is, you can preview those things, and it's still on YouTube.
Okay, well, I'll reach out to them when I
Yeah.
get home and say what's going on with
Yeah,
what
what
is it
it's
you want?
supposed to be, because it's
Yeah.
not.
Okay, or reject it and I'll throw it in my pocket. I can try this.
Yeah.
This has been the issues in the past.
Yeah, I think that's. Yeah, it's.
You know, it's funny how our expectations of these, it's just.
Like, it should just work now. And not only that, it should work fast.
Right.
And I just bought a new computer. We got a new computer server. Everything's working better than it ever has. And still now it's like, you know, when I like switch over between one program or another, it's like, okay, that was like a second and a half and I don't like it. You know?
Yeah, that creeps me out. What's going on?
I don't have that second. Yeah. It was just like, yeah, you just expect things to be so fast. And I remember when I mean, just starting the computer was.
Oh, it was 4 minutes. You walked
Yeah,
away. You
yeah, you went-
refilled, you
Yeah,
refilled your
coffee
coffee.
or something, yeah,
Exactly. Oh, I remember that. I'm gonna go get some tea. This thing will turn itself on.
yeah, exactly, eventually,
Hit,
yeah.
hit the go button.
Actually, when I started out using computers.
Oh, yeah. I remember that. No, nothing fancy. Yeah, no, like silly shit, yeah. Your email storage just goes on. Because everybody sends their business card. See, how much video and sound I know. Stop. Just not here. Oh, is that what you said? Yes. See that, those are the things that come up in Well, I think that got it. No, not. Yeah. It's like. That's what I was. Yeah.
It's been 5 hours. Your mind. No, she's working. Yeah, she's. Yeah, I think that.
And then, that's my answer.
Probably gonna be more organized. That's funny, I read two really fast books in a row. Yeah. Yeah. You know, it's like down. So,
Not gonna give you any of that.
four speakers, right? First name, last name, and then randomize them. So it's like, this is the first name. Yeah, yeah. It should be four speakers. I think that's four. Yeah.
Hello. Don't worry. No. Here, I'll do. No, I think it's. Well, that it was like, everybody has got some stuff. Yes. Yeah, it's shaped like.
So do you guys put the camera on the? Okay. Sure she gets to see her daughter. Oh, she hasn't, oh, she said she's still on the floor. She said, what time do you think the speeches are? I said, probably about 12:15. She hasn't actually logged in there yet.
I don't do that.
Or go on the folder. Not that we. I know, right? I know, like. I think they're probably my favorite class I've ever had. Just on that. That's even more so than forever. But yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I see Mary Jane everything. Damn, They moved.
Hello, how are you today?
Yeah, I'll be back next week, so. We're doing Friday tomorrow. So we are just Friday as well.
How are you? So happy to have one more thing off my list with that house selling.
Oh, good, yeah.
Car's gone, house is gone, second house gone.
Well, the houses they were one to worry about, it's just it's vacant. You know, I mean, something could happen.
Exactly. I mean, it's in a,
Like a gated.
it's, yeah, it's kind of a adult, I mean, it's all here. So they got houses, they got apartments. So depending on what stage in your life they come to.
So you're not too worried about, yeah. I had one about 2 years ago, you know, where they got the valuation, I think it sold for like 100,000 less in a couple of months. I'm like, okay, that's weird, you know, I was questioning, is that a bad appraisal or what? I said, no. But the person passed away, and she said, felt like they had no sooner got him out of there when the neighbors, the neighbors were in there tearing the Romex out of the walls, breaking things, just, I mean, literally like from, you know, when he was there, it was one thing. What they sold was something completely different. Yeah,
That was not.
yeah, it sounds like
Mine
you have
is
to
just the
worry.
fact that, like I said, being empty since September. And basically having ghosted.
Well, and even silly things like that, like a leak, if nobody's there, it can be a real problem.
Better get that off.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. I see.
All right. Okay, well, I just wonder, I don't get. Okay, I. Okay, well, then I'll. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
It's throwing a lot.
Yeah.
Well, I think that here's. Yeah. The gyms would be interesting. Okay, so yeah. Well, that way, everybody that is. Go back down. I do. Yes. Oh, that's great. That's very nice.
Well,
Some are we. Okay. So one of my favorite jokes, I'm right next to Luke, one of my favorite jokes. is like, there's one side support, but I think it's something, anyway, they were talking, well, thank you. Anyway, it's nice to have you.
Oh, right.
And you, hey, dear, how are you?
This is.
Me, it's surprised. I haven't heard yet that they should shoot instead. They should. So, plus, I was actually- Thanks. So checking your emails and stuff.
Testing. Well, so you may be some, worded it as same. There was a point of 15, 70, it's not bigger, it's 5 minutes. Yeah, I should say.
Welcome everyone to the Thursday noon Road Gateway Rotary Club. Thank you to our leader Carol Jordan and for pledge and four-way test. Lisa Higgins, come on up. Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Of the things we say and do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you, Lisa. Inspiration, Deb, Amin. So the title of the inspiration is Fill in the Blanks. The magic of a story lies in the spaces between the words. When we read a novel, we often find that the writer gives us only the barest elements of a scene, and yet our imagination fills in all the blank spaces from our experiences, our hopes, our desires. We don't need the author to give us all the details. So it is with life. Often we are given only the barest outline of the path we are to follow, and yet, if we are silent and listen to our hearts, we can hear all of the details of our path spelled out for us, a step at a time. There's no need to have everything laid out beforehand. If it were, there'd be no need to take the trip. We could simply read about it. So get up, live your path with heart, fill in the blanks yourself. And God give us the strength to find out how the story ends by living until the end of it, instead of wanting it to be read beforehand. Thank you very much. Okay, do we have any visiting Rotarians today? How about Rotarians with guests? Raise your hand. Well, I guess all of our guests are part of the four-way speech contest, and we'll be meeting all of them soon. Okay.
So I have a couple of announcements, and if anyone else has announcements, if you just want to come right up here. We, reminder to sign up for the district conference, May 16, 17, 18. I think we have about 70 people signed up for the Friday dinner so far, and I think about 75 for the Saturday dinner. Also, we'll be trying to get volunteers to help us on the day of the program, and Dawn will be back from her trip next week, and she'll have specific, requests for us. Okay, announcements.
So along with that, district conference, Leonora was making or is painting, some silhouettes that we're gonna have for people to take pictures in front of that are sort of, they were gonna be cowboy themed, but they've evolved into caveman, and Sasquatch. And, caveman is, not that I think that, caveman's, rather racy, I think that really likes it. Like the caveman, very sexy. So for all the women that want to get a picture with the caveman, you'll be able to do that. T-shirt sales are in the back. Carol's doing that. They're $10 t-shirt. Please, after the meeting, go back there if you want to pick up your t-shirt or let her know what you're after, or for others. If you want to pick up t-shirts for others, that's okay as well. And what we'll be doing is ordering more t-shirts to backfill whatever's sold ahead of time. So we'll have plenty of t-shirts at the event. I'm Sergeant Large today. We have speech contest. Not sure how long all that's gonna run, but if we have time, we're gonna get to Sergeant Arms. And on your table is a map of the world with countries outlined and trivia questions. And so this is a trivia geography quiz, and we have some fantastic prizes for the winning table. So answer the question and then label the map where it is. Hopefully we have time to pull the maps up on the screen and show you what's what at the end. We will have a pause between the end of the speeches and the judges will leave to confer with each other to score. And at that time, we can do a little sergeant at arms or we can do other things if we need to. Thanks.
Thank you. Any other announcements? I guess we're gonna jump right into the speech contest unless you want to take a 3-minute break to keep eating your lunch. You want to go ahead? Okay, let's get started. I think Doug's gonna lead us. Kelly? Doug, come on up.
Okay, so I'm going to introduce the speech contest. First by saying we have 3 student contestants today. I don't get to say their names, but they're number 1, 2, and 3. We're kind of brilliant that way. We figured that out all by ourselves. 1, 2, 3. There's 3 of them. The judges are Tommy, Kelly, and Lisa, and they're going to score the 3 students on 4 criteria. Incorporation of the 4-way test in the speech, content of the speech, the effective application of the 4-way test to reality, are the main points and conclusions topically relevant, use of originality and creativity, and the sophistication of the speech. That's the content. That's 1/4 of the score. Organization and flow, is the body of the speech orderly and logical? Smooth transitions, solid introduction and conclusion. That's 1/4 of the score again. Delivery, poise, enunciation, projection, expression, gestures, use of notes, eye contact. That's 20 points. And then there's time. They have how much time do they get?
5 to 7.
5 to 7 minutes. Thank you. 5 to 7 minutes, and they need to land within that score. And when they're done, the judges are going to go outside the room and confer. And then at that time, we can give the students feedback and let them know what we thought, and the judges will also come back and explain to us and to the students what their score was and how they scored. The winner of this will be given the opportunity to compete in the same contest for district in May. I'm not sure how that gets organized, otherwise I explain that one, but I know at the very end, I believe the 3 or 4 top students at district will give their speeches in front of the entire audience on Saturday night. At least that's how it was done in the past. And then they'll be judged then as well. So to start with, we will take student number 1 and he will introduce himself and start.
Thank you. So I'll be talking about influence, but first, I'm a little stressed out. Just a minute. Does anybody have a lighter on them? Anybody at all? It's a lot to be up here. It's okay. I'll get to this in just a second. It does have to do with what I'll be talking about. But now that I have your attention, many of you have heard me speak here before, which means that before I even came on stage, you had an idea about me or feelings towards me. Some of you may have been excited to hear me speak again or wonder what I had to say, while others were wondering when on earth we're going to stop seeing this man-child talk to us. But nonetheless, I had influence on you. You may not remember what I said before, but you may remember how I made you feel. This prop is an example of how a lifetime of good decisions can be thrown away by a single bad decision. And that's exactly what I want to talk about today. We are all individuals of incredible influence. I'll be covering what exactly it means to be an individual of influence, the responsibilities that we all have, how I learned and applied this to my life, and why I believe that the four-way test can be such a crucial tool to us individuals of influence. Influence is defined by the Oxford Dictionary as, quote, the capacity to have an effect on the character, development, or behavior of someone, end quote. And whether we realize it or not, we have all been people of great influence throughout our lives, at our work, in our communities, in our schools, and especially in our families. We have all made a change in someone's hearts. A single person has the power to change the opinions of others, work together to spark ideas, or to change entire communities or even the world. Influence has been used throughout history to change the lives of others. Four simple words: I have a dream, were able to spark a civil rights revolution in the United States, while at the same time a cruel dictator can influence generations to support their horrible cause. That is why we all have such a deeply rooted responsibility to understand how we influence others. I first discovered my influence on others from spending time with my two younger brothers, Ben and Luke. Ben is 14 and attends North Valley with me. Luke is 12 and goes to Fleming. And throughout my life, I've realized that my actions and words influence them all the time. If I say something I shouldn't, they say it a lot more. If I do push-ups in the morning, they start working out too. But if I start being kind to others and pushing myself, they do too. Now, the accomplishments of my siblings are their own. They are both incredible in their own ways, and the successes are all completely due to their own determination and will. But nonetheless, I do feel an overarching responsibility to be better every single day for them. But honestly, this responsibility felt dormant in me for some time. That was before I attended the Rotary Youth Leadership Awards camp over the summer, or RYLA. At RYLA, I learned to work with others, to apply the four-way test to my life, and I became best friends with people who are completely different to me. RYLA influenced me and more than 100 other kids across Oregon. That same influence is now resonating through us to our communities and to those who we serve. Speaking of service, this year I've had the honor of serving as president of the Associated Student Body at North Valley High School. I have seen my peers grow and help countless others throughout the year, including Cody and Mason. My leadership team and I brought food to the hungry, gifts and clothes to the poor, and blood to the ill. We saved lives and brought joy to people all over our incredible little community. But most importantly, we were able to serve others. I realized very recently that my team and many others at North Valley have been doing for the community exactly what RYLA did for me. They influence others to serve others, to do so with love and compassion for one another. I've seen firsthand exactly how important it is to use our influence for good. But one of the easiest ways to determine if our influence will make a positive impact on others is via the four-way test. I'll begin with this as the truth. Influencing others based on a lie benefits no one and only harms your own integrity. This makes me think of Thomas Edison, who many believe invented the light bulb. That's simply not true. That glory was stolen from several other inventors that came along before him, including Nikola Tesla. And while Thomas Edison was an incredible influence on generations of engineers, it was all built on a lie that eventually shattered and snuffed out the true genius of those who deserve the recognition. Is it fair to all concerned? Let's remember that fair does not just mean evenly spread out. I can very confidently say that MLK, Gandhi, or any US president are at least this much more influential than I am. But we all have the opportunity to be influential. What might seem like nothing to us, just having a conversation with someone, being there for someone at their lowest, or having the decency to be kind to all, can save someone's life and can influence them to influence others as you did for them. Is it beneficial to all concerned? I'll begin with a quote from Stephen King, where he says, quote, "We never know which lives we influence or when or why," end quote. That really resonated with me. We will never know just how beneficial our influence on others will be. Which is again why it is so vital to feel the true responsibility for our own integrity. So is it beneficial to all concerned to have good influence on others? Absolutely, but we will never be able to comprehend just how far that influence goes. Will it build goodwill and friendships? We all have someone in our lives who we connect with more than others. A spouse, a best friend, or for me, brothers. These people influence us, just as we influence them, and that mutual influence builds connections that last a lifetime. My closest friends, friends that truly feel like family, are those who I can learn from and those who I can look up to. So yes, good influence only strengthens friendships and extends goodwill to all. So we see that the 4-week test fully confirms the idea that we are responsible for how we influence others. I ask you all, remember these words, understand your own influence, understand the responsibility that you have, use it to serve others, and most importantly, always remember to do so with love. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Macy Robles, and I just want to say good morning to you guys because it's a good morning. And I'm here to preface that I was not originally planning to give this speech today. Yet I had a change of heart and figured that it would be important. I plan on speaking next year, and this is great practice. So, yeah, I also want to begin and say that I'm really grateful that all of you are here and happy to see your faces. So, thank you for all you do. Happiness isn't just a fleeting feeling, it's a force that shapes our health, relationships, and world. In 2025, with life's pace and pressures, we need a way to test and grow internationally. So, my speech is on happiness. Is it fair? Does it benefit all? Does it build goodwill and better friendships? In a society with success and plagued by burnout, members of humanity often chase one thing, and that's happiness. How do we achieve it? What makes it important? And why are we going after it? For many, happiness occurs as a goal, a byproduct of success that, for a long time, has fallen subject to our human fascination, just with the nature of us as a whole. We all deeply crave its importance, and it transcends our sentimentality as it affects many different corners of our life. Happiness is that elusive thing that society strives for. Everyone seeks to be happy and to live a more fulfilling life. It remains critical, and it's a component of individual and collective well-being, as well as self-identity. Although there are many different outlooks and opinions on life, one without happiness remains dull and lifeless. Without an emphasis on happiness, humanity would lose the capacity for resilience, creativity, and social cohesion. Firstly, is happiness the truth? Happiness is a real, authentic concept. If you're not honest about what's making you happy, or not starting from a solid place, you're living in an unhonest way. From a philosophical standpoint, happiness holds key in defining a good life. In ancient Greece, Aristotle went on to put forward his belief that happiness is involved through the course of an entire life, choosing the greater good, not necessarily which brings immediate short-term pleasure. Furthermore, exaggerating the ebbs and flow of the concept itself, happiness really does always tell the truth. Psychologically, happiness lingers in a feel-good state, something that brings joy to the mind and allows someone to live their authentic, true self. Live as their authentic, true self. Secondly, is happiness beneficial to all concerned? Happiness isn't just a solo gig. If your joy comes from someone else's expense or stepping on toes, it's not fair. The test calls this out. True happiness tends to spread, not hoard. Overall, happiness is praised as a universal good because what bad things can come from being happy? Third, will happiness build goodwill and better friendships? This is a state where happiness really shines. When you're genuinely happy, you're more likely to connect, share, be positive, and strengthen bonds. Grumpy vibes don't build goodwill. But a happy outlook, that is friendship fuel. Finally, will it be beneficial to all concerned? Happiness that lifts everyone up like a team or a thriving community passes this with flying colors. It's not about selfish highs, it's about the rising tide. Research backs this happiness that people aspire to in outcomes for groups from productivity to cohesion. I would also like to mention it's deeply intertwined with our brain's chemical makeup, as it manifests in a symphony of neurotransmitters which regulate mood, reward, and well-being. Dopamine, which is in all of your brains right now, is often dubbed up as the feel-good chemical. It surges during pleasurable or goal-oriented activities, thus creating sensations and motivation. Serotonin, on the other hand, is a neurotransmitter that contributes to feelings of contentment and emotional stability, also playing into the brain's chemical makeup of this emotion. It happens to just balance the remaining essentials for a sense of well-being. Low levels of serotonin are associated with mood disorders like depression. Endorphins, the body's natural painkillers, are associated with a euphoric high that only happiness can produce. So, I believe that happiness takes place as the radiant heartbeat of human existence, as it's an essential force that ignites the spirit and propels it towards meaning. Overall, happiness emerges as one of the key fundamental elements of human life. Its intricate tie to both individual vitality and societal harmony strengthens the inner workings of life's extraordinary journeys. It's a gift that reminds society to thrive beautifully, so happiness fits the four-way test, when it's real, shared, or endless. It's not the test's explicit goal, but I truly believe that it's a darn close byproduct of living it. Thank you.
Oh, what's that mean?
Hello, everyone. My name is Cody Russell, and I want you all to picture this. 5 16 to 17-year-old boys that are juniors in high school, out on their own, all crammed in a van with no adult supervision for 3 weeks as they travel across the western United States in search for national parks. Now, I know I've just seen some of you guys in your minds go, like, there's no way that there's people are doing this. And also, I see some of you questioning and maybe looking to the person to your right, asking whose parents are crazy enough to let their kids do this. And I would say, fortunately, my parents are. Now, it took a lot of convincing and a lot of planning to do so. As maybe my teacher back there knows, we may have not done our work in our classes in order to get this plan all ready. We made a ton of plans, and we made even a presentation to show our parents, like I am doing now, on how and why I think traveling is beneficial for everyone, and I'll share this through the experience with 4 of my friends. So the first thing I want to talk about is about how traveling and seeing the world is beneficial, is fair to all concerned, as it helps build any type of relationship. Any relationship could be friendship, family, or even improving your relationship with a significant other. This gives people a chance to learn more about someone due to the close contacts or even the more time spent with each other. Even if you travel alone, it also can help find yourself in the interests you may have, such as hiking or sightseeing. And like I said before, I also want to mention it will build better friendship and goodwill. Traveling, like I said before, gives you a chance to learn more about someone. Gives you a chance to learn more about their personal interests and what they may like, creating a deeper connection with that person. There was a lot of sharing waters on this road trip, I'll tell you that. And there was also a lot of trust in my navigation skills as we traveled through the United States. So you also learn a thing or two about someone's hygiene habits. And I'm sure, as you all may know, and probably imagine on how it smelled in that van with 5 teenage boys. But it also gave me a new profound respect for nature and its beauty, With our sightseeing of the Olympic Mountains, to the valleys of Yellowstone, to the arches in Utah and the treacherous river hike in Zion, it made me realize we must protect our national parks and wildlife so other people have the chance to see them and the beauty within them. Moreover, allowing to traveling to build goodwill in preserving and protecting the health of our world. Another important question to consider while traveling is it beneficial to all concerned? And I think yes, because it can improve one's quality of life, increasing their happiness. An article by University of Massachusetts states, quote, numerous studies have found travel to be one way to provide a break from the routines of life and can also lead to increases of quality of life satisfaction. Research has also cited travel as a contributing factor of reduced work and domestic stress, as well as increasing family life satisfaction and physical health. So not only can traveling improve one's happiness, it can also improve one's character. And one way it enhances this character is it enhances the ability to plan. And in my experience, planning played a huge role as it gave us a roadmap and a guideline to where we need to go and how much the trip would cost, so we can convince our parents to do so. However, unfortunately, we're all human. And as many of you may know, plans don't always go to plan. And as teenage boys, we plan, and we may have made a few mistakes here and there, in which we had forgotten to buy another night or reserve another night at a campsite at Glacier National Park. So, this leads on to how traveling can also help the ability to adapt. And using our adaptation, me and my friends found ourselves waking up in a McDonald's parking lot and a Love's gas station. There's also a quote out there that I strongly believe helped me encouraged me to go out and discover the world, and I hope it inspires you as well. Mark Twain says it best when he states, quote, 20 years from now, you'll be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than by the ones you did do. So throw off the battle lines, sail away from the safe harbor, and catch the trade winds in your sails. Explore, dream, discover. So all in all, even if it is just a weekend camping trip or even a field trip, I believe it is true that traveling is beneficial for everyone. It can create many cherishable and long-lasting memories and friendships, while also creating many stories to tell in front of Rotarians. And in the end, I would say it is the truth that I spent 3 weeks with 4 other teenagers, as I have the scars, memories, and pictures to prove so. Thank you.
Thank you, Dimitri. Judges? Are you okay? Good to go? Okay, you're gonna go off, kind of out of the room, do this? Okay, so they're gonna confer, come back with a score and then give us feedback and give the students feedback as well. And right now, we can go ahead and give the students feedback, and I think if they're gone, we can. Thank you. Ready to bell, welcome all, Carol Jordan.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. This was not for me, okay. You. Okay. So, Michael, Cody, and Tammy, right? Macy, sorry, Macy.
It's Noah.
Noah. Listen, what are your names? Number 1. Noah. Thank you. All right, well, thank you. So some feedback for the 3 of you. Does anybody in the audience want to start with some feedback with them and what they did? I can start. Nobody else to in.
I know it's incredibly nerve-wracking getting up in front of people you do and don't know. And I think you guys did a wonderful job. I think your topics were very entertaining and interesting and very personable, which I think is huge and makes it more engaging for those listening to you. So I think fun, breathe. I think those are the key points. So.
Y'all did great. It was great being with you guys. A couple weeks ago at the school. I've seen growth in you two, and you're new to this, and you're gonna get there. It was great. All of your speeches, and I like that you put the personality into it. That's really super important. Yeah.
Anyone else?
I just wanted to say that we're gonna take pictures of you guys afterwards, so just make sure you don't run off or.
So I was impressed with how well you integrated the, Rotarian ideals into your speech. I thought it was, presented as well or better than any speeches I've ever heard, trying to, incorporate those values. So thank you. You did great, and kudos to the teachers, mentors, and speech preparers. I really enjoyed your speeches, and the ability to connect with the audience is always huge. So today, and not knowing what you're actually going to talk about, Glacier National Park, Cody, and so it's a great connection. We just returned from travel, had a great time. Agreed with everything that you said, and it really does build relationship, and it helps with our happiness and our influence on others. So thank you very much.
I wanted to commend you all too. You were all amazing, and I saw incredible improvement. To improve over excellence is a pretty big job, and I saw that today. So thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for what you do. And I love that you're taking road trips. That's what I like to see young people doing. Thank you.
I'll give you a little throwback feedback. Noah, also known as Michael. Number one, I think you paused well. You know, you gave yourself space, and that helped to emphasize various points in your speech. I thought that was excellent. You did a great job on that. I thought, to all three of you, the subjects had a little bit of vagueness to them, sort of overarching big subjects, which is good because it makes it relate to pretty much everybody. But it also means you can kind of miss the whole mix. So you got to be careful to throw in something specific, and I'd have to look at your speeches more carefully, say this work, that, but be careful, but also do that, because you have to be sort of at the same point, you gotta be able to hone in on something that catches people. And I think you all did that well, so good for you. Both Macy and Cody, you have to modulate your voices in the microphone, right? I probably am wrong to come up here and put the microphone towards you. So you need to pay attention to how your voice is coming out of the speakers, not within your own ears. And Cody, the same with you. You were pretty loud. Take a pause back. But hear yourself through the speakers. It's hard to do, but you have to train yourself to do that. And then Macy, I think you were excellent when you misspoke. You said a word wrong and then you corrected yourself. I think it shows two things. You're paying attention to yourself and what you're saying. And you're able to do that. I think it's an excellent thing to do. Excellent all the way around, all three of you. Any other feedback? No? Okay. Well, the judges aren't back yet, so we'll wait for them to come back. We can move to a little bit of Sergeant of Arms. If you want to do that, has anybody had a chance to start working on the maps? So there are questions, and that you should get a country name or a location, and then you label it on the maps.
No, we could have incorrect answers. Oh, yeah. So, you think there's a better
And you can rely on the students if you want. You go there and bribe them. For $1, they might help you with an answer. Or you can do it yourselves.
Yeah, but I was wondering about France, but Italy. I never heard of them being the biggest. When did you put down Italy for?
That would be the highest coffee. That's very true, yeah. I was sure some of this got with the base camp, but I like your thinking.
Oh, okay, what, that might win your point. Probably not. Probably always give yourself, oh, that's not what you meant. Oh, oh, on the back of that sheet, or the list of all subjects. Flip the sheet over. Oh, it's looking for alphabet, but then you gotta label it. Oh, we gotta put it somewhere. Oh, yeah. Let's put it over somewhere. Oh, yeah.
Geography is not my thing.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few here there.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's correct. You guys, Oh. What's the order
Yeah. Yes.
But I think they already got the rock.
Yeah, I do.
We do.
Right, it's like, it's.
There.
Okay. The judges have met
She wants you to get the
and, we have given, and I would like you to stand, please, when we say your name, and we're gonna tell you, I'm gonna tell you in the, as the speaker for the other judges as well, because we have conferred and given our placing and why we gave those placings, because I think it's not valuable to just tell you what place you got, but why. So, first place, would you please stand, Noah? Second place, would you stand, Macy? Third place, would you please stand, Cody? Now, there are points that are given for several areas. And, how do you look? How do you look is important. Because this not only speaks for what you're saying, how you're saying it, but how you look here to your audience. There were a possible 100 points overall that you could get. Noah, we gave you 90. So why didn't you get 100? Well, I'll tell you. Number one, I want you to consider not reading so much, giving more eye contact. Okay? Number two, maybe you all ought to think about not using stapled papers because you have a wee bit of problem with the page turning. I find it very helpful, and it was mentioned by one of our judges, to use 5x7 cards, something that you can number and get very well acquainted with, and you won't have so much problem with that. Slow down.
Okay.
If you have practiced your material enough times, you're going to flow. Practice it and time yourself so that you don't do what Noah, I really noticed this with you. You spoke very fast at the beginning and then kind of slowed down and got into a rhythm. So we want to get into that rhythm all the way through. Okay? Yes.
No, I just want to tell you, you have an entire minute left. This is 7.
So you had a minute left. So the point is you can slow down. You had over 60 seconds. Spare. Thank you.
Obviously, you had great content. We loved what you talked about. I personally love the Stephen King quote that you threw in there. And how you talked and combined the 4-way test. That's very important, and you did a great job with that. So kudos. Macy, you didn't need to tell us that you weren't really going to do this until the last bit. Why? Because you did great. Overall points for you, 85. So you did quite well. You looked great. You had a good speed of delivery pretty much all the way through. You were better about your speed of delivery than fast-moving Noah there. You gave us good 4-way references as well. There was a bit of stumbling. And I think, again, that stumbling comes from 2 things. 1, practice. 2,
not having the staple papers or however, yeah, you're looking at me like, yeah, I understand. I love the comparisons. We all love the comparisons you made with chemistry and happiness. And everybody's shaking their heads on this. Very good material on that. We really liked it. Also the quote of Aristotle's. Love that. Okay. Let's go now to Cody. Cody, yours was good too. I mean, these were all good. You got 80 points. So, Cody, we could have done something about the dress there. We could just step up the t-shirt, you know, yeah. But it is noticeable. You did make good four-way connections, bit of nervousness, little throat clearing, a little bit of nose sniffling, and a good humor in yours. Good humor. I loved it. Nobody could ever go wrong with quoting Mark Twain. You'll never go wrong. And it was a good quote by him as well. I personally liked it that you made fun of yourself with the lack of planning. And see, that can be a very useful tool when you're doing a speech because you get empathy and humor from everybody. Again, I think what brought you down most probably the biggest thing was that your topic on travel was not as prescient as the other two. So you might want to tweak that a little bit. Okay? Giving you good feedback? Anything else you need? Well, I thought you all did great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kelly and Tommy and Lisa, and then Jim as well. And thanks for the feedback and taking notes about what you're talking about. I know it's not always the easiest thing when you're back there thinking about stuff. I'm assuming, yeah, we need photographs of the three of you, please. You can do that. All five?
Yeah.
And all three. Come on up. Can you do it up here? And then, I am not sure, but do we have prizes for them? To give to them? Gina? Okay. Lynn, do you know? Yeah. Okay, so they all get prize money for being here for competing, and then then the winner will go to district, and if he can't make it, a runner-up will go and everything. Yes, ma'am. I think that's lovely, yeah. Thank you. Gina, Delenn's gonna get to you with dollar amounts, and we'll get them in the mail, or we get them somehow get them to the school. So, Noah's father was a member of this club for quite a while, Michael Foley. Is he up there? Oh, good.
Yep.
And then Macy, you're, somehow connected to the club, aren't you? What was it? You were? Excellent, excellent. And Cody, you just traveled, right? Hey, Bailey, can you bring up the, trivia? We're gonna be done with trivia, geography here. Let me get my cheat sheet, because I don't know the answer to these things either. Have fantastic prizes for the winning table. So it's table is table, please self-score your table. First question, where did Columbus land in 1492? Sailing the ocean blue. Dora. Bahamas, that's right. Bahamas. Did you all get Bahamas? Was anybody able to point at the correct group of islands?
Yeah.
All right, good for you.
Our world travelers here.
Yeah, so little tiny islands are on the edge of Florida. I thought he landed in Cuba from not that. Okay, number two. What was the question on number two? Origin of the apple. Anybody know where that is? Yes.
Kazakhstan.
Yes, Kazakhstan. And the interesting thing about the apple, it sort of grew in popularity along the Silk Road. But the apple is one of a variety of trees that genes scramble when it cross-pollinates or pollinates with other apples or with itself, or not with itself, but with other apple trees or other trees in general. And so you can plant an apple seed and you never know what you get. It can be some bizarre, crazy thing, or you might get a good apple. You never know. But so all apple trees generally are grafted from one to the other. Okay.
Credit for Cupertino in California.
You get no, 0.25. Quarter. Okay. In case there's a tie, you might get it. Okay, number 3, the nut. Does anybody know where that comes from? Oh. What? No, you shouldn't do that, no. But if you did, you know, it happens, yeah. So the casting comes from Brazil. Yeah. Yeah, it was the jungles of Brazil. It was the jungles. And so interesting thing about Brazil, was before the people came over from Europe to Brazil had huge amounts of, sort of nut forests that were propagated by the indigenous people there. And they lived, that was most of their diet was through nuts. Various different nuts there. Interesting thing. Okay, the number 4, least amount of alcohol consumed. There's like 6 or 7 that came up with the same percentage of alcohol consumed, so it's hard to say. But I'll just read them to you. If any of you got them, give yourself a point. Kuwait is one of them. Indonesia, Bangladesh, Libya, Mauritania, Niger, Somalia, and Yemen. Those all have literally 0.1 liter per person. What's that? Saudi Arabia was not there, no. Now they moved up in the world. And all of them, I think, or all of them are significantly Muslim, and that's why they don't drink so much alcohol. No, they got it. They just, yeah. Afghanistan. Okay, number 5. I don't remember the question. Okay, number 5 is on the Cook. The Cook Islands. Oh, can you go to the Pacific? Pacific? Yeah. Oh, you know what? I should have organized the answers to go with the maps. It should say Pacific. Or Asia. Okay. Cook Islands drink the most alcohol because the British, they were a protector of the British, and the British sort of, I don't want to say enslaved them, but manipulated them with alcohol. So they became significant alcoholics. It's built into their culture. It's an interesting little thing. Okay, number 6. What's the question on number 6? Oh, Papillon, the book Papillon.
That's kind of troubling because the book was written about one area, but it was filmed in a different country.
Okay.
I know the Frigatito.
About. Correct. So the answer to it is different than Guyana.
Filmed in Montego Bay.
Okay. Did I write that question weird? So it said,
Oh
where
my
was
god,
the
a
book filmed?
Frigatito. I find it a Frigatito. What do you think? Is that the little Frigatito?
All right.
Here's a little Frigatito.
Okay. But beyond, the French had some really brutal prisons, and there were places there where they would send people there that just shoplifters. It's pretty rough. Okay, number 7, home of the Kiwi. New Zealand. You got the Pacific there? Yep, there's 7, New Zealand. Perfect. Okay. Okay, next one. Question is, what's 8? Question 8. Oh, most, was when I was going down the alcohol thing, it was then one of the things that popped up was the most abuse of alcohol. Russia's really close. Belarus, which is a satellite of Russia. You can probably just call it Russia. It's brutalized by Russia. Belarus. Okay, number 9, back in Europe, is most coffee is Finland.
Bad dog.
You got it over there?
In the right there.
Okay. And then while we're here, we'll go number 15, which is happiest country in the world, right? 15. Finland. Sounds like they like coffee. More coffee. Coffee makes you happy, yeah, okay. Number 10, the potato, where did that originate? No, Peru, Bolivia. Yes. Peru, Bolivia. Or the Andes Mountains, you can have one of those 3. Okay. The biggest city, Timbuktu. Africa is not a country.
Yeah, that's not funny. Are you laughing?
Like,
Don't
we're
laugh.
doing country.
No.
No, Timbuktu is a city in the country of, hang on. What?
Blow
No,
it
it's
up.
close, right next to it. Mali. Mali, yes, it's Mali. Number 11 on there.
Go ahead. Andy.
Mali. So Timbuktu was one of the biggest, most prosperous cities and sort of, culture, empires for a while. Because of its trade routes from the south of Africa up north and into Europe. And then it sort of just faded away.
Fine.
Famous Timbuktu. Number 12, driest desert on earth.
Bro, this is a new outfit.
Oh, no, not Peru, not Gobi. It is Antarctica. Why did
To do that.
you all heard of that? It's fine.
Okay, no pillows.
Okay, and we're gonna have you less. Okay, number 13 is Oman. Oman is that little tiny spot there. It's up there. 13. 13 is Oman. 14. 13 is Oman. And on the back of the questions were I should have told you all this, and some of you might explore, but back of the questions had all the countries in alphabetical order. In case you wanted to see what the O was. No, that's not cheap. I provided that. That's information provided. Okay, number 14 is coffee, the origin of coffee. 2 answers there will qualify. You got it. Yemen is not where the plant originates. The plant originates in the highlands of Ethiopia, but Yemen introduced it sort of commercially to the world. So it existed naturally in the Ethiopian highlands, but Yemen actually turned it into a product that people consume. That is where, what's that old coffee brand? Yeah, go, okay, I'm done. All right, we're out of here. Who won? Who got the most points?
Wait, what's the grumpiest?
9 points. Anybody got better than 9? Okay.
Okay.
Unhappiest country.
Unhappiest country was, Afghanistan.
Good.
What? 5? You got 9?
Are you still pooping now?
Okay.
Don't be pooping on me.
You got 14?
Okay, we don't do that. We don't poop on each other.
Is everyone at our table?
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Okay.
no, everyone at our table did.
What?
Give me the mom. Mo, please.
Well, you can have, hang on, you can have a bag, but I'm not bringing in anything. Okay, back to Happy Bucks. Sorry, stay for Happy Bucks.
Florida.
You want a bag? Who's got Happy Bucks? Go.
Where's the
I
other
was happy
microphone?
bucks to thank Doug for doing this, fun thing today. Actually, for the four-way speech contest for our excellent panel of judges and just for the goodwill of the community. That's my happy bucks.
There's
somebody on chat, but I'm not sure.
I have happy bucks at 10 for the,
thought I saw the
judges
red
and
button up
for
there.
our Interact group, who the good work they're doing.
The one,
Um,
the second one
and
over,
for-
it says.
For next
Oh,
week, they're gonna come take over for 10 minutes and talk to you guys about some stuff. And then
Yeah.
another $10, cause my son Matthew, who a lot of you guys know. He's in kinesiology at Oregon State as a junior. He, got an internship with the Buffalo Bills and he's living there. I have happy bucks for a lot of pieces of the school system. Awesome things that are happening with fifth graders and the Museum of Art downtown. Hyla is doing a great job of bringing all these fifth graders through and teaching them amazing things. Carpenter Foundation, who I also would recognize because they have supported a number of organizations, nonprofits in this community. And you students are fabulous, fabulous. You inspire me and give me hope.
Yeah.
Any more Happy Bucks? No? Okay, I got 5. I have 5 asparagus on the ground in my garden. It's always the most wonderful thing in the spring, because that's the first sort of harvestable thing that pops out of the ground in the
Right.
spring, other than kale, but I don't want to celebrate kale.
Girl, it's easy.
Well, yes, every once in a while you have a smoothie just to say, I eat kale smoothie, just once a year. Hang on, Deb.
So,
What the hell?
the chairman of the school district 7 board, together with administration, has created space for anybody who wants to say something, that doesn't happen to be on the agenda. There's going to be space for 5 or 6 people, 3 minutes each, at the next board meeting, which is the 8th.
Shoulder,
That
flower.
meeting and the one after that, I think. And so if you have something you want to say, say
Yeah.
it.
On there.
Excellent. Is that gonna happen every month like that?
Oh, that's perfect.
Okay, excellent.
I think John had his head.
John, go ahead, you got any thoughts? You got a microphone?
I'm just happy to be part of this group.
Any more? Okay, the winner for card draw is 6 of clubs. Finally.
Thanks, everyone. Who won? Did we find the winner?
Lisa.
Oh, you did. Good for you. So Lisa and I partnered on that and we did not get a single answer correct. We wanted you to know that, so we're proud of the losers. Thought for the day, I wish I'd spent more time working toward my eulogy and less time on my resume. That's from David Brooks. And we will see you next week. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks, Bella, for doing that.
Bro, like, that's happening.